Coming up today, we're chatting with the legends from Chiefly West about the release of their brand new cookbook.
There's people who have been coming to the shop since day one, that are friends as much as customers now.
I'll tell you about how you can get on Santa's Hotline Bling, and Dan will tell you about the newest Broadway musical set to hit the city. Produced on Awabakal and Warramai land, this is The Good Stuff, powered by BYD on Newcastle Live.
This is
Good.
good stuff.
The good stuff. From now until Christmas Eve, you'll be able to use any payphone across Australia to call the North Pole and get on the line with Santa himself. To connect with Santa, all you need to do is head to any Telstra payphone and dial #HO-HO-HO, which is 464646. Once you're connected, you'll be talking to the man in the big red suit, so make sure that you've got a few questions and your wish list for Christmas. To find out more, head on over to newcastlelive.com.au.
This is
Good stuff. One of Newcastle's favourite eateries, Chiefly West, is about to drop their very first cookbook. We're chatting with Ben and Ali about Chiefly Family Cooking Volume 1. You're about to release the very first volume of the Chiefly Family Cooking Book. Can you tell me, how did it come about?
So at the end of last year, Ali and I were talking about doing a calendar together, which we thought would be a nice gift to receive for Christmas. And then that eventually turned into the idea of doing a recipe book instead, with 12 recipes for each month. And it took a year to get it together. So it's coming out this year.
How has it evolved, other than from that first, when it was going to be a calendar, how's it evolved into a book?
I think from who came to work in the shop and who's been around with us for a while now. So we've got Big Julio, who you'll normally see cooking away. He had some really beautiful recipes from his family and stuff that he was doing for De Gallo when we were running that. So I think with having him and a lot of the recipes that we'd created over the last 6 years, it just felt like a good time to sort of share with people, because we've got a lot of really solid customers.
Yeah.
And it's kind of nice to show them where some of the recipes come from.
So you guys have collaborated on quite a few things before. How would you say this has strengthened your relationship?
Well, it hasn't. It's probably weakened it.
I wouldn't go that far.
No. No, it's Ben's creativity and constant, what's the nice word for it? Encouragement. Encouragement to get these things done. I really do appreciate it. It's something that just wouldn't, I'd never get it off the ground. And obviously with his talent and his vision, it's I'm very grateful and a lot of respect for the big man. So
the story of Ali's family and the business has always been really important and unique to me, and communicating it with the rest of the world is something that I feel like I'm uniquely equipped to do. So we started it a couple of years ago when we did the comic together about COVID, and then it's just continued through this.
How did you pick out the recipes? Because when I saw it, I thought, okay, surely we're going to get a whole heap of sandwiches, but it's actually quite the opposite. There's a diverse spread of different things, including how to make homemade pickles. Yeah,
well, that's such a big part of our business. The pickles are there's no sandwich without a pickle, hey?
Yeah, that's true.
But I think originally I was quite into just sharing a lot of the sandwiches, and Ben was more like, hey, what if there are recipes where people can prepare them at home? It's more realistic that they're going to cook for friends or in other environments than just making a sandwich.
Or for their families.
Exactly. But a lot of them were we would sort of float the ideas to Ben, and then he could come back and say, oh, that's quite a complex recipe, or do you think someone's going to make that, or is that heaps too many falafels?
Yep.
And then just kind of whittled them down into right, these would be really good and they can work with different dishes. So we just picked them through maybe simplicity, popularity in the shop, and just being able to use those recipes on different carbs, say on rice or on potatoes, instead of just always on bread.
Yeah. That's
So there's
cool.
15 recipes now. We squeezed a couple of extra ones in there. We have the meatballs that we used to do every Friday at East. We have the falafels that we do in the Tomb Raider. What else we got?
We got the pork. We thought we'd like do the pork recipe because it's real popular.
We got Al's pastrami that we used to do in the Rubens.
Yep. Pastrami recipe that's a little bit more involved for people.
Yeah.
It's like a 5-day commitment.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Then Gemma's put her little pita bread in, so just a nice little bread recipe that's a little bit easier to make and a bit quicker to make for people.
Yeah.
And we have some desserts.
Yeah, we have Gem's millionaire shortbread and the there she is.
Hey.
And Julio made the ayako soup. That was one of the first things he made for us when we went round to his house. And we were like, oh, it's amazing. It's like a traditional Colombian chicken and potato soup with corn.
Wow.
So we're like, oh, you've got to get that in there. And then it's the best in the winter time.
Yeah.
And then the beans that we were making at De Gallo were always... That's Julio's recipe as well. And
at De Gallo, we made our own tortillas. They're in there as well.
Wow.
Now you can make them at home. As well as a bunch of sauces and pickles that we use here.
So it's coming out this Sunday and it's going to be a really perfect Christmas gift. Little stocking filler, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. How does it feel to have, because when I was looking through, the story of your family is in there and there's quite a bit of intimacy. How does it feel to have it in a book?
it's horrid. Just way too much information. No, it's nice to be able to share a little bit of our story. It feels quite unique. The business has probably gone further than we ever could have hoped it to anyway, and it feels like we're pretty locked in, really happy, love the community, and it's good to be able to share this. There's people who have been coming to the shop since day one, that are friends as much as customers now. So.
Ben, you've been writing about Newcastle and the stories within it for quite a while now. This is such a quintessential story for Newey.
Absolutely. I feel like I didn't want this to just be a recipe book that you pick up just for the recipes. I wanted it to be something that you would go through and read the whole time. So the story of Ali's family and the restaurant is something that I was here for some of, but I needed to sit down with Ali and get out the details for most of it. But there is one full quintessential Newcastle family story that runs throughout the whole book and ties all the recipes in. So I think it would be great to sit down and read, even if you're not necessarily looking to start cooking straight away.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Amazing. How can we grab a copy?
So we're excited to announce that we'll be selling it this Sunday online at cheaplywest.com.
Yes.
Anywhere else?
No, just here.
Just here.
Just those two places until it's sold out.
And so we were going to do something special on Sunday, which I think Ben will announce on our Instagram page.
I can announce it right now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, go for it.
So one of the recipes that we have in here is the Ethan Hawk, which was a breakfast sandwich that we did for a little while. It has Ali's pastrami in it. It was like a Big Baby Nasty mixed with a Reuben.
Wow.
It's in there somewhere. It's one of the last ones. But we will be running it for the first time in years.
Wow.
Even on Sunday while we're selling it for the launch. And then before that, for most of this week, we're going to be selling the meatball sub that the recipe is in there. So yeah, come get a meatball sandwich this week and get pumped.
Congratulations, guys. And hopefully we do eventually get a calendar. But for now, this is absolutely awesome.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
This is where it sounds good.
Good stuff.
The very popular theatre company will bring Mary Poppins, the Broadway musical, to the Civic Theatre next year. It's the first time Newcastle will get the opportunity to see this family favourite live on stage in the city. The musical will hit the city in October 2024 for 3 weeks only. So you're going to have to get on it, and to get on the wait list for tickets, you can find out the information over at newcastlelive.com.au.
The good stuff. That's it for the good stuff today. We'd love to say a big thank you to the crew over at Cheaply West. Be sure to go and grab your copy of Cheaply Family Cooking Volume 1 from this Sunday. It's only $20. Thanks heaps for joining us, and we'll see you tomorrow from 4 p.m. for more of the good stuff.